Hey everyone. So I've been telling you a lot about this video commerce company over the last few months called OOOO. It trades on the TSX Venture under the ticker symbol OOOO and is formed by former TikTok and Wish executives. Well, this week they announced a new live video commerce NFT and mobile gaming app called fans.com, which is going to enable you, the consumer, to have live interaction with the biggest soccer franchises and players across the world. It's a big trend already happening in China, valued at over $450 billion. And best of all, fans.com is backed by Israeli billionaire Teddy Sagi. To find out all the details about this company, click now on our latest podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the Dales Report podcast, and I'm happy to be joined once again to our podcast, Sam Jones, CEO of OOOO Entertainment. How's things? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to see you again, as always. I'm very good, thank you.
How's the weather over in the UK?
I've just been for a walk around Hyde Park, and it's beautiful. It's a little cold, but beautiful. London's stunning at this time of year, I find.
Yeah. Obviously amazing city. I know we've had you on a few times. Made some big news, obviously, earlier this week. You announced that you are launching what's called fans.com, which is spelled FANZ.com, in March of 2022, which is coming up in about 30 days. The concept will target the global soccer community, offering live video commerce, NFTs, and mobile gaming. Talk about being up with the trends. How's this all work? And it sounds really cool. So walk me through what this announcement means and the whole concept and how it works.
Yeah, no problem. So it's been in the works for a while. I mean, I'm a big football fan, or soccer fan, as you might say.
You're from the UK. That's an obvious, right?
Yeah. No, listen, I know my way around football, and I know a few people in the business, and it's a passion of mine. But really, how this has come about and why we've got here is, we're in the video commerce business, and we've been doing it since November of 2020. We're live in the UK selling all kinds of products through our video streaming app, and we're also live in Brazil, and we're now live in Italy with our partner QVC.
Yeah.
And in the last few months, we've started to build an SDK, software development kit, which allows us to enable our partners to use the live streaming functions through to their browser. What that means is you don't necessarily need an app. Previously, OOOO has been an app, and our partners have an app. But there's a lot of people out there that are saying to us, can we take your live streaming services and push it into our website through the browser? So this is something we're working on. Now, we also have been working on, like, how can we be the first user of this SDK to enable browser-based live streaming? And
right.
We were thinking through, like, how do we do that as a website? What's a good community? And 3.5 billion people watch soccer, globally. It's the biggest tribe there is. Cricket gets pretty close, but soccer is definitely the biggest tribe. So
huge.
Fans.com really does three things. Firstly, it all goes through the .com. It all goes through the browser. There's no app. And that was really important for the global soccer market, because there's people watching soccer in every corner of the world.
Yeah.
The first offering is for teams and athletes and legends to do live commerce to fans of products like merch and memorabilia. So imagine a superstar soccer fan saying on their social media, I'm about to sign 100 shirts and give some of them away while I chat to you live.
So how do you as a startup company get associated with names and brands and big name people like that? Because that's obviously everybody's dream, but saying and doing based on having to build those relationships is basically a challenge in itself, is it not?
Well, I think if you look at football, they all have pretty extensive e-commerce operations, but none of them have embraced video commerce yet. So
right.
If you can say to a team or a current athlete, and many of these athletes now have brands of their own that they've created, but they're always looking for a way to match up their personality and their following with the products they're trying to promote. So I think if you give them the right technology, there'll be plenty of people who will want to broadcast and sell at the same time. This is what video commerce is. So So at the very basic level, we're trying to give teams and athletes an ability to use their very large social following to convert people to an audience that's global, where they can sell signed merch, or they can sell a training kit that they're watching, that you can buy while you're watching a training session. This is how I see the evolution of commerce, especially
100%.
in sport.
100%.
So,
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
So the very first thing that Fans does is merch and memorabilia live commerce. Now, the second thing we wanted to bring in, and it's obviously very hot at the moment, is digital assets, non-fungible tokens. How can we weave that into what we're doing with OOOO? Well, I think there's a huge cash grab going on right now in NFTs, but we've spent months looking at it. Like, who are some of the leading artists? How do you construct a smart contract? And what we're doing is we're applying NFTs, primary issuance and secondary issuance. We're applying this to the sport world. So on the 1st of March, we will launch and sell through fans.com 10,000 unique NFTs linked to a true legend in the world of soccer. And so that will happen through fans.com. We're building a community and a whitelist process, and you will be able to purchase through the domain NFTs, which is our first entree into that space. But really, it's just a different form of a product that you can buy traditionally.
Think of how big that is. When I think about American football, when Tom Brady threw his 600th career touchdown pass and the receiver accidentally handed the ball to a fan, everybody was saying, why wouldn't that guy leave the stadium immediately and go home and start an NFT? But when you think about the partnerships that you have with different players, different teams, the merchandise that's available, game-worn jerseys, translating that into NFT, that's appeals to be, this is going to change the whole entire sports landscape, don't you think?
I think if done correctly, I think as I say, there is a bit of a cash grab going on. I think the best thing about the blockchain is that whatever you put on it lasts forever.
Yeah.
The worst thing about the blockchain is that whatever you put on it lasts forever.
Yeah.
So you have to be very, very careful if you're an athlete or a team that what you create digitally is worthy of your franchise and your name. So
yeah,
we've invested in and you'll see very soon when it launches in 4 weeks today, you'll see that the quality of art, the depth of research, the end unit and its scarcity is highly attractive, and not just to the person buying the NFT, but also to the individual that we're honoring. Like he is buzzing when he sees what we've created in his name. So I think
100%.
there's a lot of NFTs in the market right now in sport, and they're basically photographs of players, and it's really just, in my opinion, garbage. It's just they've rushed it, that's a mistake and a shame. But
it's the early stages of an industry, right? But there's going to see so much change for sure.
Yeah, so that's why we felt choosing something that had a culture, had a tone of voice, and we knew, and we weren't going to look like idiots. Like, I couldn't do fine art because I know nothing about it, but I do know football. And so that's the second prong, is the primary and secondary issuance, and really the kind of hand holding of teams and athletes to play in that space. So we've got live commerce, which I think is super attractive to people, and it's something we already have in the tent. Secondly, it's the digital offering, which is new, and there's a huge broadcasting element to the NFT space. Twitter has had a renaissance in the last 6 months because they've really won the game of building communities talking about NFTs. But that's an audio discussion. What we want to do in soccer is build a video broadcast discussion that converges art, merchandise, and investing. And these three things together. So that's what's interesting for us. From our studios, we'll be talking about NFTs as if they were jerseys, as if they were merchandise, and that's where it falls into the video commerce aspect. The third part of Fans, and we already do this in the OOOO app, we have gaming where you can win things in the OOOO app. We have a bunch of games in there. in fans.com, we're going to have some games that are free to play that you can sign into every day, and you have the chance to win signed merch, or you have the chance to win an NFT.
It's great.
So the gaming really is, gives you the hope that maybe you'll win or maybe you'll beat your mates. And that's the kind of third part of the app at this point.
So when you look at these teams, these players, it's a great idea, but obviously they have to be selective on who they partner with. One of the interesting things about this agreement is that you've partnered with Teddy Sagi, who is a technology and real estate billionaire who has a vast interest in London property market. So walk me through who Teddy is, and being obviously a billionaire, he's going to have a long resource of connections. Is having him part of this enable you to build a lot of these relationships with some of these marquee sports franchises and players as far as advancing the company?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, on Teddy, I mean, Teddy's 50 years old, based out of London, Dubai, Cyprus, Israel, really a truly inspiring entrepreneur. I've known him some years, very close to him. Really a mentor in many ways. He made his name in being a pioneer in the gambling industry, the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Building a company called LabTech, which was essentially online gaming technology, which he licensed all over the world. So he really became like a factory for gaming technology, and arguably the number one. So he's made a huge name for himself in that space. But he's just repeated over and over and over, creating wonderful ecosystems, whether that's Camden Market in London, which he owns,
yep.
or payment companies. Pay.com is one of his. VPN, he's one of the biggest players in VPN globally. So very creative, very driven, a real sort of master at having a vision on things. And yeah, I mean, Teddy and I, as I say,
how did your relationship develop with him?
Well, I used to be at a company called Wish, and a lot of my sport contacts came from there. We used to sponsor the LA Lakers jersey,
yep.
which was a relationship I managed, and we also made a World Cup advert that featured people like Neymar and Pogba and Bale and Buffon, really the elite of global soccer. That was something I put together. And then before that, I had my own soccer gaming app, so I know my way around the football scene. When I was at Wish, Teddy and I met, and he was very active in lots of companies, but was very interested in e-commerce. So we got close during that time, and stayed very close since.
When we look at you, and we've discussed this in the past in previous interviews, the team that you've assembled, executives that work with TikTok, as you said, with Wish. When I look at the overall video commerce, it continues to explode. It's a mega trend in China, which is where you guys were stationed. So you saw a lot of trends well advanced in front of the Western world. It's estimated video commerce is going to reach $420 billion this year, according to McKinsey. So based on what you've developed in the UK, Italy, Europe, South America, now into North America, how ready are Western consumers pertaining to video commerce?
I think there's been a breakthrough year in terms of data in China. I think the numbers have got so obscenely large. In China, the hundreds of billions of dollars it's going to be this year it's at a point now where it cannot be ignored. People like Austin Lee, doing $1.7 billion in a single live show. If you compare that to the sales in large US retailers in a year, it's a big number. So I think people are now beyond curious. I think there's almost a bit of panic, where CMOs and e-commerce leaders are saying we need to be in this space. So I think we're well placed as a company, and I am seeing now companies really pushing it. I still think the biggest challenge for any company is user acquisition. Mm-hmm. Like there's so many companies dependent on the likes of Facebook and Google to get their user acquisition, and to really break through, you need a way of growing outside of the sandbox of Facebook and Google. And the reason I think OnlyFans, even though their content's slightly, borderline questionable, as to whether it's porn or not, I think OnlyFans teaches us something very, very interesting, and that is they've taken a website all through the browser, and they've built community by taking from TikTok and Instagram and saying, I'm on OnlyFans now, come join me. And this is super interesting. So my lesson from the last 2 years is, we know that video commerce converts better than photographs. We know that. We know that interactive commerce is super exciting if you can find a subculture where there's real community. But the question is, how can you get very, very large acquisition of users? And I think that the reason that sport, and particularly soccer, is interesting is it is global. Manchester United is a global following. It's not an English following. So if we can tap into that, and you can flick people to the browser, and you can hit them with live shopping, give them knowledge and access to NFTs that's licensed, plus you can give them gaming where they have a chance to interact and maybe win on a daily basis, I think that's interesting.
Well, imagine Twitter when it launched. You have interaction with some of the biggest stars in the world, and now you have it from a video perspective, and you can own something that they have. This, to me, makes me feel like this is all part of like Web3, the metaverse. We're on to the next stage of where this digital ecosystem is going. And I think you're going to see, as you've said before, this is already a big trend in China. You have the experience and expertise based on a team that's in play right now. But for me, if anything, it goes to show how far behind the times North America is pertaining to a lot of this, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's more, as I say, that people have fallen so deeply into the addiction of advertising on platforms like Facebook. I think they've just become almost lazy, and they've given up on any form of creativity. And I think that's a trap that and it's an expensive one. I think we are at a point in time when very, very large commerce companies are open to new surfaces. And so I think we're very well placed to be able to hand that. And I think that's why doing the QVC deal for us was really interesting, because they have an existing following, existing studios, and we need to really, as a business, find lots and lots of other companies like that who want a hand-in-glove solution so they can embrace video, rather than falling into another trap of doing it on Instagram and others. So I think the markets, I think the next couple of years are going to be huge adoption in video commerce.
QVC, distribution wise, we announced it obviously last interview, but their global reach, you have a distribution partnership with QVC. They love the model, but what is their global reach as of 2022?
Well, I mean, their biggest market is the US, which is, they're obviously a household name. US, Japan, UK, Germany, Italy. They're their sort of main markets, which are obviously all enormous. And I don't know how many homes they're in now in the US, but it's a big number. So we're very focused on trying to do a great job for them in Italy, and then we've got a number of other discussions around the world that are similar to that, where we can essentially reskin our app, give our technology to someone that's got a community and wants to broadcast and shop at the same time. So notwithstanding, we have our own UK app, and then obviously Fans is going to be launching very soon with an SDK which allows us to do live shopping from the browser, which is a brand new thing for us.
So this launches 30 days from now in March, you're saying?
28 days, 4 weeks today. One of the biggest icons in global soccer. We're launching with 10,000 NFTs, which we have designed with a top design. A couple of great designers who've sold out a number of projects before. We'll launch it on the 1st of March. We expect to sell it out, and then we'll be in the business, and we'll add, I would say, within 3 weeks of that, we'll do another top legend, and we'll keep on adding teams and athletes in this space on the NFT side, and then we'll bring in the video commerce, and then we'll bring in our first game, which I can tell you about soon.
That's great. And then as far as people trying to find you, OOOO.com, is there anything in particular that they will need to navigate towards once they're on the app?
No, if you go to the app, sorry, if you go to the website, there is a place to learn about us if you're a brand and you're curious about this. And really, there's a few ways. If you're interested in video commerce, if your CMO has just said to you, we should be doing more video commerce, you've got three choices. One, we can help you from our studios make live shows into TikTok or to Instagram or your own website. Number two, you can take an SDK from us, which means you can do live commerce into your website or into your app using our interface and gamification and so on. Or number three, you can sell on our app if you're in the UK, and it's the sort of products that we go for. Or if you're a huge corporate, with your own TV shopping network or your own community, you can just take our whole tech stack. So yeah, you can go on the website and reach us depending on what your need is of any of those few there.
Big growth. For the first time that we spoke, it's just, you really do see where this whole ecosystem is going as far as video commerce. And anyone I talk to, obviously here in North America, pertaining to video commerce, it's amazing how much that they love the idea and realize the proof of concept already in play in Asia. And it's only a matter of time before this explodes, obviously, here in North America, and not to mention the people that you have associated with the company and the relationships and brand partnerships that you're developing. It's obviously very well done. So I appreciate the update.
Well, we're very close. Just one final comment. We're very close to a sports star like Tom Brady being able to communicate with his fans, through a phone. The only problem is currently when you do that through Instagram or any of these things, they control it. They control the payment. They control the data. If you want to reach more people, they charge you advertising. So the next step is for an athlete to be able to say, I'm going on fans and you can connect with me. And no one's going to cap the access, and you can buy what I've got and we'll ship it straight to you, and there's no middleman. That's really close. And that's what fans is direct access to some of these teams and athletes that are truly global, and a layer of commerce of digital and real assets. And that is hugely exciting to us.
Who do you think is the ideal consumer? Like what age demo?
Well, I think if you think about soccer and you think about one of the biggest clubs, Liverpool, which is my club, there's people who are fans of Liverpool in their 70s and 80s in Philippines, Indonesia, US. I mean, and then there's fans who are fans of Liverpool who are 10 years old. So I think the amazing thing about some of these clubs is they've got a massive age group. So you can target older legends who are signing things from when it was your team's era. Yeah. Or you can create NFTs, or you can go right the way down to the current players, and target them. So it is multi-generational. It really is, a huge opportunity with these clubs.
But the user experience, just with the younger generation, I'm sure this is going to be huge if they can actually connect with obviously their favorite athlete, and the way they obviously have their daily habits and trends as to how they consume content and go about shopping. It's like I said before, Web3 and the metaverse is here, and there's so many different, components to this digital world that we're starting to see since COVID, that we're going to see so much growth happen so fast in the next year or two, which creates, I think, opportunities like yours, a very viable one.
Yeah, we have a tagline, which is football in Web 3.0, which is, I think for us, it keeps it broad enough that, there's so many opportunities, whether it's Sandbox, Decentraland, actually enter the metaverse, buy land and build an ecosystem where you can gather with fans. You can do presentations, you can connect, they can earn in these environments. We're starting small, in terms of one sport, video commerce, NFTs, but when you look at the potential roadmap where it can take you to, I think that's the importance of focusing on a single sport. But yeah, very, very exciting. It's all going to be happening from OOOO HQ. We've got some really good people involved. So I appreciate it's a bit of a leap from where we were, but I think if you dig deep into what we're actually doing, it's actually quite similar to where we started.
It's awesome. Listen, appreciate you connecting with us. I know you're busy, but keep up the great work, and let's keep in touch.
Pleasure, man. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thanks, Sam.